Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So, everyone able to practice the ant? Yes or no? Everybody able to practice? Anybody any questions? Okay. So now you know what is source code management, how you are going to manage that, how you are going to track those changes. Okay. So the next will be after managing your source code, next what you're going to do, you're going to perform the build automation, right? So once you do the build automation, you're going to get a final package. That is nothing but the var. Now, this is a binary, right? You're converting the source code into binary. That is nothing but a build automation. Now, you got that final artifacts. Okay. So if you open that directly, you can't understand what is there inside that, right? It's a binary. Only a machine can understand it. So that means you should have a proper environment where you can deploy that artifact. Once you deploy, then you will come to know what they have developed. Okay. So for this, actually, we have to set up the environments for deployment. Okay. So now this process, okay, like deploying the deployable artifacts to the target environments. This I'll call it as deployment management. Okay. Deployment management. So deployment management involves deploying the artifacts or deployable artifacts. The target environment may be, okay, your application server, okay. It may be a database server or it may be a middleware server, okay. So all these things will call as a target environment. This deployment process, it may be a single step process, okay, but typically it involves deployment of multiple artifacts also to an application server, a database server, or middleware server. Okay. Okay, this can be a single step process. Just a minute. Okay, so you're going to take these final artifacts and then deploy to a particular dedicated server. That may be an application server, a database server, a middleware server. Okay, so the deployment management goes hand in hand with the build management. Okay, this is a process actually, goes one by one. First, you will do the source code management. Okay, after developing, you're going to do the build automations. Once you get the final artifacts, you have to deploy this. Okay, so that is why deployment management goes hand in hand with the build management. Okay, so without build, you can't deploy it. Okay, so without source code management, you can't do the build. So that is the process. Okay, so this is how the deployment management involves the different tools. Like I told, right? Again, the source code management, you use a tool, and then for build automation, you use a tool, and then for deployment management, we're going to use some tools. Okay, so that we'll call it as something called Tomcat application server. Okay, Tomcat web server we are going to use here. Okay, so we're going to deploy this final package which we are developed, the var file, to the Tomcat server. Okay, so let us see how to do the deployment. So before that, see, now you got this thing, right? Source code management, build management, and then deployment management. All these three constitutes your release management. What do you mean by release management? What are the components of this release management? So release management is nothing but it's going to provide an audit. Okay, that means configuration management, build management, and then deployment management. All these three constitutes your release management. Okay, so therefore, the definition for release management will be like this. It's a process actually. Okay, release management is a process of planning, building, testing, and deploying hardware and software. Okay, the version control and the storage of this software. We'll call it as release management. Okay. The release management is a process where it includes software configuration management, build management, and deployment management. All these three constitutes your release management. So that's why you'll say release management is a process of planning, building, testing, and deploying hardware and software. And the version control and storage of this software. All these things will call as a release management. Okay. So release management is also required, like as I told, what is that? Planning, building, testing, all these things, right? So in that also you have all these things like repeatability, traceability, control deployments, then you'll see the validation, audit, and then the cost estimation. So all these things is going to be involved in the release management. Okay, release management is going to provide the audit mean. Okay, which version of the build went into the particular release. Okay, and then what is the cost involved in this setting up this environment to do the deployment. Okay, configuration management, build management, deployment management. For all these things, what is the cost? Okay, and then validation. So you will validate all this software which you have created. Okay, and repeatability, traceability, and controllability. Already you know these things. Okay, clear? Okay, as I told, to perform the deployment, again, deployment management is a process. Okay, to do the deployment management, you require a tool, right? So which is the tool we are going to use? We call it as Tomcat. Okay, so let us see how we can use this Tomcat for doing the deployment. Okay, so who is going to share the screen? Okay, who is going to share the screen? Sorry? Yeah. Okay. Just say Tomcat download. Yeah, click on any one of them. First one only you can click. See, here download you have so 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, these are all the latest versions. 11 is the latest version. Alpha it is going on. Tomcat 10 is another one. So you can use Tomcat 9. Okay, click on Tomcat 9. Yeah, wait. Here right side you have 9.0.86. This is your Tomcat. So 64-bit Windows 32 or 64-bit Windows Server installer. Okay, last one. 32-bit, 64-bit Windows Server installer. Okay, just download this. Okay, Tomcat this is an open source tool actually. Okay, this is an open source web server and servlet. We'll call this one as a web server. Okay. So now whatever WAR file we have created now, that WAR file will be deployed on this Tomcat web server. Okay, remember this. It's an open source web server. Okay. Yeah, just double click on that, install that. Wait, before installing, okay, just say, go to the browser, open a new window. Just say localhost colon 8080. Colon means double dot. See, right now it is showing the site can't be reached. Okay. Now we'll install this Tomcat and we'll see. Now go to the Tomcat. Just say next. Okay, accept. Yeah, just say next. Okay, here, see, by default, it is taking 8080. Okay, if you want, you can change the port number here. Okay, or else we can change the later also. Okay, just remember by default, it uses 8080. Okay, and then you have to give the username and password for this. Okay, just say username as whatever you want. Tom ADM. Okay. Password also just you type same thing, Tom ADM. Remember this. Okay, just say next. Okay. See, to work with the Tomcat, you have to install JDK. Okay. Without JDK, you can't work with Tomcat. Okay, so this is the path. Just say next. Okay, it is going to install in this path. Okay, just say install. Okay, remove that. Wait. Show release, readme, remove it. Run Apache Tomcat is fine. Just say finish. Okay, so now refresh this page. See, now you are able to see the Tomcat. So this is your web server. Okay. So now, before it was saying the site cannot be reached. Now, once your application like the Tomcat is installed, you can see this Tomcat web server is up and running. So now just click on Manager App, right side, Manager App. So now it's asking for username, password. Tomedium and then Tomedium. Just say never for this. So now this is your Tomcat Web Application Manager. Just give me a minute. Okay. See, now your web server is running here. Okay. So now we have to deploy this WAR file. So how to deploy this WAR file? Just scroll down. Okay, there is WAR file to deploy. Okay. So you have to choose this WAR file. You know where exactly your WAR file is present. Just go to and practice. Okay, leave this. Just go to and practice. Okay. And example. So dist. Yeah, this is your final package. Okay, you copy this path. Okay, now go to the Tomcat. Choose file. Click on this. Okay, just paste the path here. Just open. Okay, open. Okay, deploy. Click on deploy. See, now that ant example is appeared here. Go up. Left side, you can see ant example. Ant example left side ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಿ applications ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ. Left side, bottom. Yeah, up. This is your application. Before it was not there. Just after deploying, you got this. Before you have slash docs and manager, only 3 things. Now, once you deploy this Ant example war file, you got this application. Okay, just click on this ant example. See, this is your application. Whatever they are developed, this is the thing. Okay. Some application they are developed, and then you can give username, password, and something like that. Some application they are developed. Okay, this is the HTML page. So now, see, once you develop, they will deploy and they will see this. See, country is there. Now select this down, drop down. See, now there is only India, US, UK. Okay. See, they have deployed. So some of the testing team, they are going to deploy this and then they are going to verify. Or you have sent this WAR file to a customer, they will deploy to the Tomcat server and they are going to verify this. And they are going to find this country. In this country, there is only India, US, UK, and other countries are missing. Okay. Imagine that you have sent this application to some other country. They are trying to open this and they will find that or their country name itself is not there. Then it is a bug, right? And again, they are going to send a request saying that include the country name. Okay. So again, what they'll do, this request will assign to the developer. Developer is going to go and do the modification to the code and they'll include that name, whatever country name. Okay. Okay. Remember, okay, some country you can give. Okay. Sir, Australia, or you give some other country, okay, France, whatever it is, or Singapore. Okay. So then the developer, they will do the modification to the code, and again you will do the build. And after getting the build war file, again you will deploy it. And after deploying, if you click on this country, they can find their own country, whatever it is. So like this, they will be looking into the functionality of your application which you have developed. Then they're going to verify. And if everything is fine, okay. Otherwise, again, they'll raise a request, a defect saying that this is a problem. Okay. They may raise a defect or they may ask to do the enhancement of this feature or function. Okay. Or they may ask you to add the new things. Those are all called change requests, right? A defect to be fixed, an existing function to be enhanced, or new feature to be added. All these things are change requests. So again, you'll get a change request. Again, development manager will assign the developers to fulfill this change request. Again, developer is going to modify the code and then they develop the code and then the build engineer is going to do the build and then the deployment engineer is going to do the deployment. So actually, there were three categories here. Source code management. Okay. In olden days, actually, source code management is a separate tool and one admin used to perform this activity like source code management. Another engineer, okay, he used to do only the build automation. Okay. So another engineer, he used to do only the deployment. So all these things are going to happen in a parallel, but the separate engineers is going to take care of this. Okay. So the development team, they're going to develop this code from morning to evening. Okay, they will finish it. Build automation engineer, he comes evening or late night and then he starts his build. Once the build is completed, so the deployment engineer sometimes normally he used to do the deployment on weekends or sometime late night, okay, and sometime early morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, something like that. So they will get a deployment request. So this is a one war file. Like this, you'll be having a number of war files. Okay. So depending on the which one is easy? ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ easy, build a source code or deployment.
Deployment.
Yeah. Just taking that WAR file and deploying to the Tomcat. Very simple, right? Anybody can do this. A small kid also can do this nowadays. Okay. If you tell them this is a process, just take this and deploy it, they will do it. Even any SSLC failed candidate also can do this. Okay. But why they are choosing only the engineer? So, see, okay, this is something around 8 to 10 years before. Okay. So I used to trade only up to this deployment and shell script, that's it. So at that time, we didn't have anything like Jenkins or Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible, all these things were not there. So in that time, so this is the part like source code management, build management, and deployment. Okay. So I used to train within this course within something within 1 month. Okay. Or 15 days. So I used to complete this course within that much time. Okay. Within 1 month. And then they'll practice this, and then I used to get a job for them within 1 month. Okay, only this part up to this much. Okay, so one of the person who is working in different domain, okay, I made him to get a job on this after doing this course. Okay, within 20 days or something like that, and then prepared the profile, and then he got an offer. He got an offer in Capgemini. Okay, and his work was to do only this much. That's it. Okay, so they used to have a meeting after every night. There'll be a meeting, and then he has to do this deployment every night. This is not a single WAR file. So we had a n number of WAR files like this. So he has to go and deploy one by one, and he had to check all this. So for this, okay, every day he used to do this deployment, and weekends also sometimes he has to do this deployment. And he find, so there is no challenging work and there is no interesting, just checking this WAR file and deploying it. So after 1 week or 2 weeks, okay, he fed up with this activity. Okay. He came back and he asked, "So what is this? I got a job, but this is not the work where okay anybody can do this. They're providing these WAR files and I have to do the deployment." Okay. And then I said, okay, they're going to pay a good package. No. So to do this much, so I used to get 50,000 per month. Okay. So he got a good package also. And then 1 month over and he got a salary also to his account. Okay. And then again he came back, sir, this is a boring job, sir, that to night I had to do this, that, all this thing is it. Okay, if you don't want, you can quit. Otherwise, just do whatever they are saying and continue the work. Anyhow, you're getting a salary. Na? If you're getting bored and there is no need to learn anything, just outside only like take some other course, online course and learn scripting, all these things you do. No, why you are going to worry about this? And 1 month or 2 months also, over, he was getting a package, he was getting a salary, but work was not that much interested. I told, go on continuing, you'll come to know what is there in this, why you are worried. You learn other things. Okay, try to understand the process in company and okay, you can learn other things also. So after 3 months, okay, suddenly he got a call when he was sleeping saying that the application is not coming up after deployment. Okay, after deployment, the application, see now this application is opening here. You'll see username, this thing. So after deployment, when they refresh this page, this application is not coming up, it is throwing some error. Okay. Then is okay, sleepers got disturbed and okay, he went to the office. At that time, there is no work from home or anything. So if anything goes on, he has to rush into the office at midnight or whatever it is. Okay, they'll give a call, they'll send a cab and he has to go to the office. So something around midnight, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, he got a call and they went to the office and he was to troubleshoot this. So it took some time. Okay. And then finally he got resolved this. And then he came to know why they're giving this 50,000 rupees for him per month. Until that it was okay. So he was asking, okay, why they're paying this much for this position. Okay. Actually, this is also very, very, very critical because the deployment, after deployment, if your application is not coming up, then everybody will, okay, blame on you. Okay. Imagine that you are opening a banking application. Okay. So suddenly you're doing some transaction, suddenly your web page is not visible. Then what happens? You feel like, okay, something went wrong and my money is gone, something and all in your mind it comes, right? So then he got to know what is the importance of this deployment part and why they're giving this much money and how to troubleshoot all these things. So see, after doing the deployment, just deploying this WAR file is easy. But when it goes wrong, then only you have to troubleshoot those and then immediately you have to bring back this application. Otherwise, you will be blamed. And then everybody is going to give a call to you or saying that, okay, so they will escalate this issue. So many things is going to happen. So until everything going smooth in software, nobody is going to touch you. Okay, nobody is going to ask you what you're doing. If anything goes wrong, immediately you have to fix that issue. Okay. Or you have to give a reason, or you have to roll back to the previous build and then work on this. Okay. So even though it is a small work, okay, simple work, they're going to give a huge package. So that huge package is paid for only that part when there is a criticality, you have to resolve that issue. For that reason, they're going to give this much money for it. Okay. So then he came to know what is the why they're giving this much money, what is the importance of this. And he continued for some more, okay, years and then he learned and then now he has moved to the different domain. Okay. So initially it was a thing. So like that. Okay. Okay. So let us see what is the importance of this, why they're going to pay this much money. So what is the troubleshooting part you have to do, where exactly you have to see all these things. Okay. Before that, take another WAR file and deploy and see. Okay, just go to the browser. Just say, go to new browser, open new tab. Open a new tab and just say calendar.var. See, now I'm not doing any build also, just I'm taking it directly WAR file. Calendar.var file download. And click on this. Okay, wait. See, there is something called Persian down. Okay, calendar.var, second one. Open that second one. Just check whether it is downloaded or not. Open ಮಾಡಿ website downloading file old. Just open that website. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಬಲ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಡೌನ್ಲೋಡಿಂಗ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲೆಂಡರ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಓಕೆ ದೇರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ